G'day mates, it's your host Mary O'Neill Phillips and you are listening to Country Outdoors Podcast. G'day guys, it's Mary O'Neill Phillips here. Welcome back to Country Outdoors Podcast, and on this week's episode we have country music singer and outdoorsman Austin Williams.
What's up?
G'day.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of dig into your story a little bit. So I understand you're one of the unicorns. You grew up here.
One of the few. In
Tennessee, which is like pretty good for like hunting, just in general, like sportsman's mecca. We had Larry Fleet on recently and we were like, actually no, it's a terrible place to hunt. You should never come here. There's no turkeys and there's no deer.
There's no, we have really small deer. We have no turkeys. We have a lot of ducks if you want to come to kill ducks.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ducks.
Yeah. A lot of raccoons.
Yes.
But tell me, like, where did you grow up and what was life like growing up?
So I grew up about 30 minutes north of town, a little farm town called Springfield, Tennessee.
Springfield, yeah, I know it.
So I grew up that way. So it was a lot of farming, a lot of outdoors. You know, we really didn't get into the city much. We stayed out.
Were your family in ag?
They were tobacco farmers.
Yep.
So I grew up on a tobacco farm.
That's awesome. I love the smell of tobacco.
Me too, especially like right now. It's kind of a give and take because you walk outside and it smells so amazing in the mornings, but my breathing is done for the rest of the month.
True.
Sinuses, awful.
True.
So, but it's like the greatest thing. Like nowhere else really knows that kind of thing of waking up in the morning. You just smell the tobacco smoke coming from the barns when you wake up in the morning. So, but yeah, that was kind of growing up. So we didn't really grow up in the city much. You know, we stayed out. Nashville is the place you didn't go growing up, unless you had to. You know, the only time I went to Nashville is if I had a doctor's appointment or something at Vanderbilt.
Well, you're Korea now.
I'm here quite a bit.
You didn't go, well, then I moved there.
Yeah. Well, luckily I still live like that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
just
I stayed
commute?
out. I just 30-minute
You're
drive
lucky.
in. Well, you know, you have all these people that's from, you know, hours and hours away. That if they could drive 30 minutes and go home, they would love to go home.
100%.
So I was like, I'm not letting 30 minutes stop me from going home every day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm only in town when I have to be still, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, life growing up. So who, was that like your parents' farm, your grandparents' farm?
So my grandparents owned a big farm like in Hendersonville. And then my dad's uncle owned a farm right up by me, big tobacco farm. So we grew up working that since we was a kid. Then my dad took it over.
Gotcha.
And we ended up stopped raising tobacco at one point because my parents, the farm got so big. My dad's an engineer for the state.
Wow.
And he started there when he was 19. And so he can retire at like 48, 49 with full retirement. So the farm got finally so big, it was either retire from my job, quit my job, or, you know, stop, you know, shrink the farm to just some cattle. And, you know, retiring before you're 50, something a lot of people don't get to do. So he's like, I can't quit my job. So we kind of shrunk it down to just, you know, several head of cattle.
And so who got you into hunting?
So my dad was kind of my in. So my dad did kind of, he was a big deer hunter. He loved to deer hunt. So growing up, you know, he would take me on deer hunts, stuff like that. I got spoiled. I think I killed my first buck the first time I ever went hunting, and like the first 3 times I ever went on a deer hunt.
Lucky.
Killed a bigger deer every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the first time I went and didn't kill one, it was.
You learned what hunting was really about.
I learned it then. But no, I grew up hunting with my dad. And then he got into duck hunting when I was probably 7. We were talking about this yesterday. I think it was 2012 when I started duck hunting. I was 7.
Yep.
7 or 8. And he had some buddies that duck hunted, and they took him on a duck hunt, and I went with them.
Where, like West Tennessee?
It was actually in Middle Tennessee. They have like
Wow.
draw blinds here. So they're public blinds, but you have to draw for them at the beginning of the year. And I went, actually, we drew for a blind this year. It's the same exact blind. It was my first ever hunt was in it. It was super cool.
Can you film there?
Yeah.
You're going to have to film that. That's pretty special.
Yeah, it's my first ever hunt I ever went, first ever duck hunt I ever been on. I'm going to get to hunt out of that blind all year this year.
That's really cool.
So, and then after that, I've been just absolutely hooked. And then we had a lease growing up in Missouri, right outside of Sykeston. And we killed a lot of ducks there because we don't really have ducks here at all.
Do you deer hunt up there too?
No, man,
Just
it was just a
ducks?
duck lease. And so, but I mean, I never really traveled much for deer, just because we got, being from here, I've got a lot of land to hunt.
Yeah.
Here, because I know all the farmers.
Yeah.
And we, blessed to be in a spot where we got good deer.
So what does that look like now, being in town and all these guys knowing that you got some good spots? Is that like a trading?
Oh, well, no, it's great, because I say, hey, you right with me? I take you deer hunting.
I was gonna say that, like that's what I would be using for sure. You're like,
it's great.
okay, yeah.
It's great networking, and, or like just building friendships bigger than music.
And also with people that you want to, like, as an outdoorsman and outdoors woman, like you want to make friends with people that are your people too.
Exactly.
So like, yeah.
Exactly, and it's cool, to separate. It's cool because everybody that is in the music space wants to separate from the music space, because
Totally.
there's just so much, when you're not working, somebody is, and it consumes your life.
Yeah.
And so, everybody, and all these people that move in from, whether it be Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas, they don't have anywhere to hunt.
Yeah.
They grew up doing it, but then you move here, you live downtown somewhere in an apartment, and you don't really get to go hunt.
It probably as well, I would think, like infringes on your creativity if you get disconnected from that for
100%.
too long. Yeah.
I mean, it's like we write country songs every day in the middle of a big city.
Yeah.
And so everybody, it's cool to kind of build friendships and go hunting with those people, because they don't get to do that no more. Mm-hmm.
Who have those boys been, or girls and guys been in town that you've like found the best connections with on that?
So my producer, Brandon Manley, he's from, Piedmont, South Carolina, middle of nowhere, grew up, hunting, fishing all the time.
Low country?
What is it?
Low country?
Yeah. So he moved to town, and, he lives in downtown, and, kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And, so we've kind of reconnected that. And then Josh Phillips, who just wrote Dirt Cheap for Cody Johnson. Me and him's been doing a lot of, we did some early season duck hunting here this year. And guys like Brian Callahan and Adam Sanders and all of those guys.
I love Adam. He's a good
Adam
boy.
is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
And so, I grew up with Adam. So I kind of grew up hunting around.
Oh, yeah,
Adam.
of course. Well, yeah, so Adam, he's been in town a long time now.
He's been in town since I was a kid, and he met my dad. Him and my dad met when he first moved to town, and they've all been friends ever since.
So I have a funny story about that. When I first moved to town, Adam's brother, Lance, who you probably know, was like the first friend that I made. So I had gone, this was 2015, and I had gone to Whiskey Jam, and I decided that night, I was so over all these people, fake cowboys everywhere, fake country people everywhere.
Yeah.
And because where I grew up, my family have a house by the coast, then we have a cattle farm, and like the country people at we still don't have self-service at my farm. It's like still very much dirt roads and all that stuff. And I was like, I came to Nashville and nobody's country. And that night I decided I'm going to make friends with the most redneck people here. And saw Lance and his friend, who ended up being a pest trapper, like vermin trapper. And I became friends with them that night, and they invited me out to Adam's family farm.
Yep.
Have you been there? To his dad's property?
Over
in Henderson, sorry, not Hendersonville, Goodlettsville.
Goodletts? Yeah.
The bean thing and everything. And so like the first couple months of me being here, I was out there every weekend just raising hell with those boys. Yeah. So Adam and I have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He's a great hunter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such
good
a
hunter
great
too.
hunter.
So there you go. You guys can swap spots on that stuff, because he's got some good spots too. He's shot some big deer on his place.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I know the story about the deer that he killed, the really big one he killed over in Goodlettsville.
Yeah.
Where he shot it the year before and didn't find it, and ended up killing the same deer he shot.
Well, wasn't the state, was it the state buck or the World was in Goodlettsville, wasn't it?
Gallatin.
Gallatin, close by.
It didn't hold it long though before it even got in the book. It got broke. Actually, my aunt went to school with the guy that killed it.
Yeah,
He wasn't a deer hunter.
He wasn't.
Wasn't a huge deer hunter, I don't think. From the story that I heard, he wasn't a deer hunter. He was a farmer. He's a big duck hunter.
He just got lucky.
He saw him on the tractor one day and then started hunting him after that.
I mean,
that's the story I heard. It might be totally wrong, but the story that I heard, which being, growing up here, you hear all the tales and stuff of everything.
You know what? He just got lucky then.
Oh.
That's how they did it back in the day. They'd be sitting in their tractors with their 410s and pop something
said,
and they went past.
He said, from the story that I heard was he saw him on the tractor and then started hunting him after that.
Yeah.
That's how he knew he was there.
Wow.
That field's a subdivision now. So sad.
That is the sad thing though about like Tennessee in general.
It's growing.
I'm
It's
sure
growing.
you have. So, like, the comparison to what it was like when you were a kid to now?
The skyline of Nashville was about half the size.
Yeah.
You didn't have all these bachelorette parties. You didn't have a tractor pulling a wagon with a bunch of drunk people yelling. You could go, hear my dad and them tell stories about Broadway. So we would go to Broadway and, hang out from time to time. And he goes, now you go to Broadway and you stand at the bar for 30 minutes trying to get a drink and can't get a drink because there's just so many people.
You also don't want to be a girl going out on Broadway anymore because it is just not safe.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And it's just like it's starting to become just huge.
Well, I could tell through your I always do my research on people before we have them on, and I could tell through like your socials and stuff. You seem to be quite a faith-driven person.
100%.
For me, I'm like, it sucks, but if it means that Jesus is coming back, then this is just what we have to suffer with until then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of, I'm just at that point where I'm just thankful, since the dawn of time, the city has always been kind of the bad place.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire, the city was kind of the bad place. And so, it just makes sense now that the city's still not really the place you want to go. And, kind of staying out in the more rural areas is kind of where the more easygoing, faith-driven people are. Mm-hmm. So, it's cool to just go home to that every day and just get away.
So did anybody else in your family, were they musically inclined?
Not really. So my mom's godfather, so it was all detached family. So my mom's godfather, he wrote the song Ramblin' Man for Waylon Jennings.
Yeah.
And he produced guys like Gene Watson, Farron Young, and Ray Price. Owned a label in town called Step One Records for a while. And then along my dad's side, there was a guy named Albert Brumley, and he wrote the song I Fly Away. Mm-hmm. And so if you go through a hymnal book, he wrote half the songs in a hymnal book.
That's pretty awesome.
And then he's the one who pretty much found Merle Haggard out in Bakersfield. So growing up, seeing Merle Haggard play and all of that, it was kind of grew up loving music, but not really in it. And then as a kid, some of the people, when I was a kid, my dad knew, Adam and all of those guys. So seeing them do the thing, and it was always cool to kind of see those guys do that. So yeah, I grew up loving music, but not really influenced directly by my parents or my grandparents.
So when did the needle move for you?
So it started, I was going into the 8th grade and I had a spinal fusion back surgery. I was born with congenital scoliosis.
Wow.
So I was down for about 3 months and I watched all the hunting shows I could watch before it finally just got repetitive.
Yep.
And so I decided I started listening to music because I love songs. And I decided one day I was going to write a song. Well, growing up around guys like Adam, you hear what a good song is. And you know what a good song is, you know what a bad song is. And I heard guys like that talk about the great songs that they have written. Mm-hmm. They don't ever talk about the bad ones. So I wrote a bad song. And I was like, oh, those guys don't write bad songs. This is not for me.
This cannot see the light of day.
Yep, this is not for me. I'm going to quit and never do this again. So I didn't do it again. And from there, I kind of, next year I went to high school. I was the new kid at my high school. Didn't have nobody, didn't talk to a lot of people. And third project of the year, we had to write a song for a class project. And I fell in love with the art of songwriting because I could tell somebody how I felt without actually having to tell them.
Yeah.
And it was great. So I fell in love. It just kind of became an addiction, just writing songs. And the more you do something, the better you get at it.
Were you playing an instrument?
Not at all.
You were just songwriting?
I would just dry strum a guitar to just kind of hear the beat, just kind of, hear something from melodic structure, then write a song. And then I kind of learned to play guitar after that.
You self-taught?
Yes, ma'am. I went to one guitar lesson. I could not wrap my mind around making a G chord, so I went to the guitar lesson. He showed me that, never went back. I got this now. So figured that out and just kind of fell in love with it. I learned to play guitar in a couple months, which is really fast for a lot of people, but when I picked it up, I never put it down. So I learned how to do it a lot faster.
And so then when did you decide that this was going to be a career thing for you? Zach, myself, and the Country Outdoors family are proud to have Hawk Optics as a sponsor. When it comes to clarity, precision, and overall quality of the product, we have found Hawk Optics to be top of the line and field tested their products year round and had great success. You can check out this example here on the screen of my recent Colorado elk hunt where I harvest this monster bull elk using the Frontier 30 SF hooked up onto my fix from Q.
So I was going through high school. So, most people like cut yards or something during the summers in high school just to make money.
Yeah.
I would play gigs. Just go play a gig every Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Like at a local bar?
Yes, ma'am. Just kind of different, restaurants, but anywhere they'd let me play music. I'd go play my songs, and I was going to go play college baseball. And I got to sitting and thinking, at this point, I'd kind of started to think by my senior year of high school that maybe I want to do music for a living. I wanted to write songs for a living. I didn't want to be an artist. I just wanted to write songs. And I was going to go play college baseball. And at this point, I'd done made my mind back up. I was going to come back and try the music thing when I got back. And I was sitting around thinking, I'm too small to play pro baseball. I'm probably not good enough to play pro baseball. So I'm going to go waste time and money on a degree that I'm not going to use.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. So I was like, I'm going to cut out the middleman. So I talked to my parents. I said, I'm not going to go do that. I'm going to chase this music thing. My parents wanted me to go to college, like a community college, just to set up a backup plan. And Chase Matthew ended up talking them out of letting me go. And talking them out of letting me go and just saying, hey, give him a year. So they gave me a year to kind of see if I could turn music into a job. And at the end of that year, I was able to turn it into a job and start making money at it and didn't have to go back to college.
And so what's the conversation internally with your family now? They're just obviously very proud.
They're super proud of me.
Yeah.
It's always what's next.
Yeah.
It's always what's next. We're thankful for where we're at. There's two types of people. There's a type of people that sit and look at a picture and say, oh, look what I painted. And there's somebody that's saying, oh, let's paint more.
Yeah.
And so it's always kind of this, thankful for where we're at, but let's go paint a bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly. There's, you're still on the journey and you're only, I can't remember the exact saying, but it's you're only as good as your next or something. Not as good. How does it go? Can you look that up for me, Ty? You're only as, it's something like, it's essentially to not focus on the past, but to keep moving forward, essentially, is the theme of it. So now that you've got, the EP out and all of that, probably super busy. How does that work into your hunting passions? Are you able to kind of schedule in hunting with your tour dates?
Trying to do that as much as I can. The big thing is being a duck hunter.
Yeah.
And we don't travel as much in the winter. Everybody in the music industry really shuts down from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
Which is perfect for you.
Perfect. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Let's shut down.
Yeah.
Because but this year's going to suck because I'm going to miss all of November deer season.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Canada.
But ducks.
But exactly. We're going to figure something out.
Where are you going to be in Canada? Because I have a couple of spots up there. I know some people in Saskatchewan.
I'm going to go across the entire country.
Okay. Are you in Saskatchewan?
We don't stop in Saskatchewan. We stopped at Saskatchewan in March.
Okay. Too late.
but now we might have an off day in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Because we go from Winnipeg. So we play Vancouver, then we play Calgary and Edmonton, Winnipeg, London.
Okay. So yeah, I whitetail hunted in Saskatchewan, shot a huge deer out there on native land with the Cree Nation people.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it was sick. But they do duck hunts too.
Okay.
So let me know, and I'd be happy to
for
make
sure.
a connection there. And even if it is for a day, it would be
that
pretty.
Would be so
for
sick.
sure.
Yeah, I'm a duck hunting fiend. Ducks and turkeys, I'm a fiend for.
So let's talk about okay, so you said your first hunt was that was a deer hunt?
My first hunt ever was a deer hunt.
Yeah. And when did you get into turkey hunting?
So it was kind of later in life. I went some as a kid,
Yeah.
but my dad has never been a huge turkey hunter. Mm-hmm. He's always just kind of been a deer hunter and a duck hunter, and he loves to fish. Mm-hmm. So it was later in life I kind of decided I had some buddies that turkey hunted. Me and my dad started turkey hunting a little bit, and then I had one year where I killed my limit of turkeys that year, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
It took me going. I think I was still young enough. I hunted the juvenile hunt, and I killed a bird both days, and then I killed my third bird like opening weekend. So it was like one of those deals where I got my fill of it, and like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I was, this year, and every year since then, it's just been chasing birds.
Is it like the calling thing for you that's like
that's my thing with ducks? Turkeys, it's kind of like it's the strategic thing of this bird's working here, so we've got to loop around here and cut this bird off.
Yeah.
That's what it is for turkeys with me, is the strategic factor. Ducks is the calling thing. I could go hunt ducks and never take a gun and be totally content.
Yeah.
Just work birds, land them.
Yeah.
Be totally content.
I always feel bad for people that have had like a slam dunk first turkey hunt, and they're like, somebody who I know who does not hunt turkeys, but the first time they went, they literally shot a turkey, flew off the roof, shot it. They thought turkeys are dumb. They're so easy to shoot, da da da. I'm like, you haven't turkey hunted long enough then, mate. Like,
oh, they're hard. They're hard. Yeah, them turkey birds, they'll get you.
Yeah.
They're just unpredictable.
Yeah.
They're so unpredictable, especially Easterns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because there's so much pressure on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had an opportunity to hunt out west yet?
Oh, I want to so bad.
Yeah.
I'm gritting my teeth to get out there out west.
Yeah, what are these bucket list hunts now like? Now that you have these opportunities for touring and everything, like what does that look like for you?
So bucket list hunts for me, I want to kill my Grand Slam.
Yep.
That's kind of thing number one.
Have you hunted any other states other than Easterns?
I've only killed an Eastern.
Okay. I have some spots for you down for Osceolas and stuff like that too.
That would be
so when you
sick.
want to do that, let me know.
For sure. I want to kill my Grand Slam.
Okay.
And then like when it comes to ducks, I've never killed a canvasback and I've never killed a cinnamon teal. Those are the two bucket list ducks. I want to kill both of them. Other than that, I want to hunt like mountain lions or bears behind a dog. I only want to do it behind a dog though.
I see my camera guy over here just like, he's a big hog dog guy and dog work.
I'm a huge dog guy. I love hunting behind a dog anytime I can.
Okay.
Like rabbits, quail, pheasants, anything, raccoons, like that was always a big thing.
Yep.
Growing up, just anything I can get behind a dog and hear a dog work.
Did you guys do much trapping?
I've never done a lot of trapping.
Okay.
I never did all that much trapping.
Yeah.
Definitely had some family that did, and I've been, and just kind of moseyed around. But my dad never was a huge trapper. But he was a big competition coon hunter.
Oh, really?
He loved to coon hunt. And so I grew up, midnight, getting home 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and mom being mad at us because we're being too loud. But yeah, I spent a lot of time, in the dark and just behind a dog. That's kind of my love, is watching dog work.
Let's talk about the dogs. So like, what are the dogs that you grew up with, and have you got a dog now? All right, guys, I have a confession to make. I have a terrible sense of direction, and it's no wonder I haven't got lost in the woods or eaten by a bear at this stage, but there's a reason for that, and it's because I have Onyx Hunt. Onyx Hunt is incredible. It's an incredible mapping feature, and it has helped me navigate my way out of some pretty sketchy areas using the compass feature. I've been able to get back to my truck. I've been able to drop pins and waypoints to be able to coordinate how to get to A to B, to be able to find that turkey that I saw on the road and knock and get permission. Guys, though, if you really want to know who's a fanatic at dropping pins, it's my husband, Zach. If you look in his phone, he has thousands of these pins. If it was the 1920s, he'd be able to trade them and get some money out of them. But don't take my opinion. Go and download Onyx today and check it out for yourself. Good luck this fall. Country Outdoors is thrilled to have partnered with Moultrie Mobile. This fall is an extremely busy fall for us. We've just been out in Colorado elk hunting, and now I have my Iowa tag that I drew, and Zach and I both drew Kansas, which means we're going to be scattered all across the country. So we've done the same with our cameras this season. That means we can get the intel in the field when we aren't there. As you guys know, when it comes to those big bucks in Midwest, as soon as they pop out, you want to get out there as quick as you can. And because of Moultrie's crystal clear images and videos and the ability to connect to all 4 US cellular networks, you're never going to have to worry about getting those images and videos when you need them. The app is also loaded with amazing features like weather, mapping, and buck prediction in the game plan feature. Get an edge with the Moultrie Edge 2 series cameras and the Moultrie mobile app.
I've got a beagle hound now.
A worker.
That runs rabbits really well, but is terrified of guns. So he's turned into a pet.
Oh boy. Yeah, they're meant to be like pretty hard-working dogs, aren't they?
And he runs a rabbit so well.
Yeah.
And he runs rabbits all day. I don't keep him inside. He hates coming. He's one of those dogs. He hates coming inside.
Yeah.
So he runs rabbits all day, every day. But
Yeah.
as soon as you pull out a gun to shoot a rabbit over him, he's done.
He's done.
He's done.
Okay.
He sees a gun, he's done. So he's just kind of a pet.
What's his name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
So what had
Jimmy.
happened was,
Yeah, exactly.
so my neighbor or somebody that lived down the road from us.
Get him.
We found it one day and we called the guy that owned him and was like, hey man, we got your dog. And he said, oh, his name's Jimmy, just keep him. And I was like, I don't know if it works like that, but all right, I'll take your dog.
You're like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a great working dog, and good old Jimmy.
First off, I had contemplated taking him like to the pound or something because I didn't need a dog.
Yeah.
And then he ran a rabbit. I saw him running a rabbit through the field when I was like, oh no, I'm here. Because growing up, we had 2 rabbit dogs. We had 2 beagles, and we got to the point where we just wasn't hunting them anymore. So we kind of gave them to somebody that would actually hunt them. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm here. And so I decided I was going to take him hunting one day, and I pulled out a gun and he was done.
You're like, Jimmy, what's going on? I thought we had a deal.
Yeah, I was like, Jimmy, I thought you were the guy.
Oh my gosh.
But he's the greatest pet ever.
Yeah.
He's there when you want him to be, and he's not when he's not.
Yeah, he's off chasing rabbits when he wants to be.
Perfect. Like he'll be off doing his own thing, and then if you yell for him, you want to play with him, he comes up and he's all cuddly. And then about the time you get tired of him, because I have the attention span of like a 5-year-old. So about the time I get, just start wandering somewhere else, he runs off and does his thing again. It's great.
That makes sense why you're a duck hunter. Yeah.
Oh, I can just hang out with all the guys, see ducks, have the thing for a minute, and then go back to hang out with the guys.
So how do you go in a deer stand then?
Well, it's kind of a different idea for me. I'm there for different things. So a duck hunt is my favorite camaraderie in the woods.
Yeah.
It's 8 best friends. We're sitting here talking about things we probably shouldn't talk about. It's great.
Yeah.
And in a deer stand, it's the peacefulness of it. I can separate. It's more of like it's more of a faith thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can sit in a deer stand and just separate from everything.
Mm-hmm.
Have time to, think about life and just, it's just that kind of moment for me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, deer hunting and duck hunting is just totally 2 different mindsets for me.
Mm-hmm.
2 different times a year, 2 different mindsets, and just kind of different experiences.
Mm-hmm. And now, so going back to, we were on the track of like dream hunts and everything. You'd gotten into the dogs. So are you more of a like gun hunter than a bow hunter, or bit of both?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
Bit of both. Taking a deer with a bow is kind of.
What do you shoot?
Matthews.
Yeah.
Big Matthews guy.
Yep.
And my dad was a Matthews guy, so I kind of grew up just kind of a.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger sister.
And does she hunt?
It's one of those deals. If Dad's going to take her, she'll go.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things. If Dad's going to take her, it's definitely one
How
of those.
old is she?
She's 15.
She'll probably end up meeting some guy. And
Yeah,
he'll
that
take
likes
her,
to
and then she'll
hunt,
go, and she'll get into it.
She's one of those. She's one of those. If you're going to hunt, she's an evening hunter now.
Well, most of us girls are,
She's an evening hunter now. She don't like the early mornings.
It's actually a scientific thing that women need more sleep than men. It's because our brains just work a lot more.
We're
working overtime. We need more sleep.
I could see it. I know if I had like a wife or an old lady of any sort, she'd probably have to work extra to
I'll be
keep up
honest,
with me.
I like to get up and have my like spring mornings and all of that, but like when it's been a grind, in the fall, it's hard for me to get up sometimes.
I'm a 6 a.m. every morning.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I'm a 6 a.m. kind of, but if I had it my way, I'm a 9 p.m. Go to bed, wake up 6.
There you go.
That's kind of my.
You're a perfect 7-year-old.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Didn't even lose the mind of the 7-year-old.
Yeah.
But I, with music, that schedule gets super hard.
We
play these shows. We don't go on stage. The past week we haven't went on stage till 10:15 every night.
So how do you like balance? Have you had any like challenges trying to kind of balance like the temptations of the road and like
so
the drinking culture and all these things with?
It can get difficult.
Yeah.
luckily drinking's never been a thing I could care less too.
Yep.
And I'm not old enough, so which helps.
Oh, are you not 21 yet?
I'm 20.
Oh, there you go.
So I kind of got to learn like how to be around it and
Good
not
for you.
do it.
Yeah.
So now I can, and I've also, growing up through high school, we all do things we're not supposed to, and just like I've just never been something I could, definitely care less to do. The hardest thing that I had to learn was like the women aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a struggle. You're put in a position that you've never been in, especially as a guy.
Yeah.
And so learning to kind of figure that out, and then after that, it's kind of figuring out time management.
Yeah.
Great.
And then just getting onto a schedule that works for you and your guys, and
That's the
then
biggest thing.
with your bandmates and everything now, like have you got a good crew that kind of works well
they're
together?
Amazing. They're amazing. Not a single one of them drink. It's amazing. Like we play our show. Everybody talks about this party lifestyle on the road. We play our show and we go to bed every night.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
We play a show, we go to bed, wake up the next day, we do it again.
Because the vibe like really matters, doesn't it? It can
It's
just
amazing.
yeah.
Oh, you have one, like you'll have one guy that doesn't really fit in with the rest of the guys, and he kind of separates himself the whole time.
Ew.
That's not fair to him.
No.
And so it's kind of like
The energy.
The energy's got to be right. So when you got a good group of guys, you keep them.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, I got blessed with best group of guys ever.
That's awesome.
They're all, two of them's married, one of them's, got a girlfriend that he's, really invested in, and it's great. We play a show, go back to the hotel, go to bed.
So what are you doing for your 21st?
Probably nothing. It's probably streaming every day.
Will you be in
I'll
town?
I'll probably be in Nashville, yeah.
Okay.
It's probably
When is your birthday?
January 6th.
Will it still be?
It's a Monday.
My birthday's January 5, by the way, and I'm not
Okay.
turning 21.
So you'll be on a Sunday and I'll be on Monday.
There you go.
It's probably just gonna be, to me, my birthday's just another day.
Is it still duck season?
Yeah, it'll be, duck season will still be in. I'll probably get a duck on you.
There you go.
Because I'm a big, like, we start rights at 11 a.m. every morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the woods. I'm the guy that'll pull a duck boat down Music Row and park it in the park. I'll be that redneck.
Oh, look, Dylan Marlowe, we had, like 4 years ago, we did like a clean up Nashville thing. And we went down to Percy Priest and we're cleaning up all the trash around Percy Priest, and he turned up and he had a dead turkey in the back of his truck. He's like, sorry, I'm late. I was just hunting. I'm like, dude, you're in the right company
As
here.
you should be.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of, I'm definitely the guy to pull down Music Row with a duck boat and just show up and be like, hey guys, I'm here.
Perfect. So talking about duck boats, what have you got?
Oh, I've got the cheapest, like, John boat duck boat
Love it.
ever. Because I have no reason for a duck boat. We don't have flooded timber here.
Yeah.
And if I go to like Arkansas and hunt the timber,
They've got it all there.
I'm going with somebody.
Yeah.
So I actually just bought like, just something to get me to the blind this year.
It's great.
Because we got that little draw blind here.
Yeah.
And so if I drew for it, I'm gonna hunt it some, and you gotta have a boat to get to it.
So
but it's literally just you drive down a ditch.
How many people fit in this draw blind?
8.
And so how does that work?
So what you do is, in the state of Tennessee, there's draw blinds. Old Hickory has them. I don't know if Priest has them. I don't think Priest has them. But there's some in Camden. There's some at Kentucky Lake. Mm-hmm. They're all over. And so how they work is if you buy a hunting license in the state of Tennessee, mm-hmm. you can put in to draw for a duck blind. It's totally free. You put in to draw a duck blind.
Is there like points though? Like does it?
No,
it's just a random
it's
lottery.
It's just a random lottery every year. It used to be the coolest thing ever. So they'd do it like in the summer, and they would do it in person. So you would go, you put your name in a drawing thing, and it was like everybody would hang out. They'd have raffles, and
they should still do that.
After COVID, they stopped,
and they
went to
that back.
online. And so you get online, and you if you get drawed, you get a free place to hunt for the year.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And so who's coming with you?
So we have a group of 8. So like if you get drawed, you get to pick you and 7 others to go in.
Do they already have to be entered, or can you just put the list in?
I think now they have to be entered. Used to, like there would be that one guy that was friends with everybody there, so he would know somebody that got drawed always, and he would get in with their group.
Yeah.
But now you have to like enter like your name and
your 7.
Your 7, and y'all go in as a group. And if somebody in the group gets drawed, you'll get a blind.
So it's could be out of the 8.
Anybody out of the 8.
That's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
So how long but you've been putting in every year for how many years?
Oh, a bunch of years.
Yeah.
A bunch of years.
So there's a lot of people putting in.
There's thousands.
Yeah, okay.
And so, but it's one of those deals, it's free.
You got to make the most of this season then.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's one of those deals, which we have. I got a private place here to hunt too.
Yeah.
That we do really well out of for here. I mean, we'll kill a handful of ducks, and here if you kill 5 ducks, you did something. So I mean, we do well at this private hole. So now we got 2 places to hunt.
Is your dad on that list?
Whoops.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, it's the group I've hunted with since I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the group that.
That's really cool.
It's the same group of guys I've hunted with since I was a kid.
Wow.
So we're all team up in there, and we'll hunt it some, and then kind of hunt our private place some. We'll bounce back and forth.
That is really cool. A lot of people don't get that experience of having that memory of going back to that place, but also still having those people to hunt with.
For sure. Oh, that was kind of like this
special.
place that I killed my first deer. I got permission to hunt that farm again last year.
Do you have a golden horseshoe up your
I don't know.
kahuna?
I started doing music.
That is awesome. Well, we'll be following to make sure you have all.
For sure.
Yeah, that's great.
And we're working on kind of doing some long form content and get into the vlog space of the hunting world.
For sure.
Because that's kind of my biggest goal is, I want to take, this music brand and build other brands off of it.
Yeah.
And, because
YouTube.
I like music and I love what music does for people. I could care less about music. Getting to talk to somebody and saying this song played this part in my story.
Right.
That's the only, I could care less about music. I wanted to be a special ed teacher.
Really?
Growing up, I wanted to be a special ed
Why?
teacher. I always kind of had a
Wanted to help
drawing to that.
people?
I just always had a drawing to do that. I wanted to be a special ed teacher and coach baseball. And, the music thing kind of fell out. And it's just I could care less about music. If I could find another way to help people in the same way that music helps people, I'd be good. And but the music thing kind of came along with all these opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to be starting a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And vlogging your hunting adventures.
And so I'm going to use that brand, the music brand, to kind
Yeah.
of branch off into something I really love.
What are you
and
gonna
I'm
call
passionate.
it?
We're getting there.
Is that what it's going to be called?
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
We're
But
getting there,
we're
by
getting
Austin
there.
Williams.
Yeah,
Hey, that's great. That's a good show name.
I
We're
had
getting there.
The best show name. Do you know Mo Pitney?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
So
I love Mo.
best one I've heard is Turkeys and Mo.
I have never met somebody who has, it's a weird thing, Mo. Well, if you know Mo.
Mm-hmm.
I swear that man has a direct connection to the Lord
He
himself.
baptized me.
Did he?
Mo baptized me.
Where?
In a creek not far from my house.
Of course he did.
Yep. Mo is me, and Mo's one of my best friends in the
Mo
world.
is as close to John the Baptist that I've ever met. I don't know.
That's the best
and I'm
way
not
you can put it.
glorifying. Mo is not God. Blah 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 blah.
No.
But he is. He is like. When I have something that is so crazy happening in my life
I'm
that
gonna
I
call Mo.
think somebody else is going to be like, hey, this is crazy. I know he will. I'm like, I think this thing happened. The Holy Spirit. Blah 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 blah. And he's like, nope.
And Mo's gonna explain the entire
Yeah.
scenario. Yeah, I've heard some stories. I've had some stories and heard some stories. He's been probably the greatest influence on my life ever.
I had Mo in turkey camp 3 years ago, and he walked in, and I think 6 people got saved in Oklahoma.
Sounds.
We were doing a revival in the
I got
garage.
saved on a turkey hunt with Mo Pitney.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I got saved on a
I'm
turkey
not even
hunt
shocked
with Mo
because
Pitney. I got saved on a turkey hunt with Mo Pitney.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Do you know his brother as well?
Blake?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep. And they're all so talented. His sister Holly.
Yeah.
They're all so talented.
And Emily too. And
Emily's
then now you watch it like
amazing.
Evelyn.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
I know.
She is the cutest.
I know.
She is the cutest. I'm so happy that little Elliot, he finally got a boy. He's so excited about it.
Oh my gosh. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Good people. Good people. When you think of the biggest hunting shows, the most legendary hunting shows in outdoor television, what channel do you think of? Outdoor Channel. Country Outdoors is very proud of our partnership with Outdoor Channel, which started during the pandemic in 2020 with our turkey tour, and which has now evolved into a popular adventure series 4 years later. We are available on all Outdoor Channel digital outlets, including My Outdoor TV. And guys, they're giving out a free subscription to My Outdoor TV, so go and check it out. Country Outdoors podcast is proudly presented by Nomad Outdoor. Guys, we've worked with Nomad Outdoor since the beginning of Country Outdoors, and there's a reason for that. They have the absolute best hunting apparel in the hunting industry. We have worn their clothing spring, we've worn their clothing in the fall, we've worn their clothing in the summer, we've worn their clothing on the ice, we've worn it everywhere. We absolutely love it. Guys, they're a Southeastern brand. They represent us. They represent sportsmen and women. Whether it's in the field or by the campfire, Nomad Outdoor has something for every occasion. So you'll come on, go check them out. Okay, so going into the rest of the year, like what does that look like in terms of touring and hunts and everything like that, like going into Christmas?
So we are fixing to go, we're wrapping up our first headline tour. We got a couple weekends left. We're fixing to go to Texas next weekend. Go to Texas, then come back, play a hometown show in Nashville.
Great.
That's kind of like my Super Bowl.
Yep.
Then go to Atlanta, then go to Thibodaux, Louisiana. Then go to Boston, and then start through the Midwest and Canada all of November. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I get home in November, I'm going to go straight to I got about a week of deer season before, which deer season here bow season opens up this weekend.
Yep.
So I definitely spend, my couple days home a week.
Well, Velvet's already
Velvet, I hunted Velvet 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and then bow season starts Saturday. Mm-hmm. So I'll be definitely in a stand. I got have a few good deer on camera this year.
Cool.
And then, my days home will probably be hunt till 10, then go downtown and ride.
Yep.
And then from there, we come back from Canada, I'll get, 1 week of deer season in November before I just turn it into duck mode.
Yep. And
we got a few hunts lined up. One with one of my really good friends, Isaac Zornbreaker in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. He got an outfitter down there, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I've got one hunt lined up beginning of December with Dive Bomb Industries. Mm-hmm. Great people, and they kill birds.
Yeah.
And then I've got a couple more that we're kind of working out right now that get different places in duck hunt. But man, I'm having a hard time going on some of these hunts just because it's my one time home.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what's great about being from here is I got 2 places to hunt here.
Yeah.
And we might kill 5 to 10 ducks versus killing 70. And I can be home in 15 minutes.
True.
There's something, it's nice going to hunt, having a great time and then being home in 10 minutes.
You know what? And if those people are inviting you this year, they're probably still going to invite you
100%.
next year. So.
I think we've got a trip lined up for next year to go to Canada. I'd never been to Canada. I want to kill ducks out of a field.
Yeah.
I've never shot ducks out of a field.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to, I'm going to go to Canada and shoot them out of a field. And then I want to go to Wyoming and kill them out of ditches.
Yep.
So that's kind of my mountaintops.
That's good. That's a busy year.
Busy year.
We're really excited to watch it all. And before we wrap up, we're going to play two little games with you. So first one, this is you and I will play rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Whoever loses has to pick one of these out and answer it. Okay. And then we're going to do a guess the score on some racks. Okay. And I don't know what the score is on the racks either. So.
I'm terrible at scoring here.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You lose. Go.
Okay. Most disgusting habit. Trying to think of my most disgusting habit. I don't really know. I'm such a clean freak that I don't know if
Maybe that's what's disgusting.
It might be. I'm a clean freak. Oh, I know. I go to like a restaurant and I'll get a to-go box and it never leaves my vehicle for like a week.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, like that every time I go to get a to-go box.
Especially in Tennessee when it's like 100 degrees.
Exactly. It never fails. I go to a restaurant and get a to-go box. I've got now where I don't even get a to-go box. I just leave it.
So your car smells like farts?
It's got a tendency to. I actually threw 4 boxes of pizza out of my vehicle this morning.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So if Austin offers you a ride, just like put a peg on your nose.
Oh, there's a bag of Subway in the passenger seat at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I'm bad at rock, paper, scissors.
Wait, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay,
I won. Uh-oh.
Most embarrassing moment in the woods or career? Do I want to be honest about this one? Career, woods. All right. Oh, I don't think I've ever shared this one, guys, but if you've hunted, then you know. So I was hunting it was rifle season in Nebraska. And I was in a redneck blind and it was snowing, and Zach was in another blind and he was able to see me. He had binoculars on my blind, and I really needed to do a number 2. And it was the last day of season and it was the rut. And so I didn't want to get out of my blind and go to the toilet because Zach could see me. And at this stage, I think we were like, it's still dating or engaged. He would have yelled at me if I had gotten out because it's like the last hunt of the rut. And also he would have just seen my butt in the snow. So I did what any person would do. And I used what I had in the blind, which was a donut bag.
Okay.
And so I did my business in the donut bag and used my beanie and put it in the beanie and threw it out of the window.
I've lost a lot I always wear an undershirt hunting for a reason. I've lost some sleeves.
So yeah, and then the snow went on top of it and he came to pick me up and he was like, "Where's your beanie?" And I said, "Oh, I can't find it," and whatever. And then like later, like months later, I told him about that and he's like, "No wonder you didn't kill a deer."
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
But you know what? Like, yeah, most of us hunters have some sort of a story like that from the woods.
Oh,
especially if you're dedicated to the hunt.
I've lost a lot of sleeves.
Yeah, there we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh.
Oh, I'm getting good at this game.
Uh-oh. Share your irrational fear. Dying in a plane crash. I have like massive phobia of flying.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Not a flyer, I see.
No, I hate it, and I fly so often that it's terrible. It's really bad. Like I'm like 3 times a month, like heart palpitations.
Oh, I had that fear, and then I was flying like twice a week. I was like, I gotta get over it.
What? How did you get over it?
I flew with somebody that I didn't want to know that I was scared of flying.
I don't have anyone that I care that like.
I think it's like a guy thing of like I don't want to be like egotistical guy thing, and like I didn't want nobody to know I was scared, so I just kind of, and then finally I just was like, oh.
You like when somebody has the hiccups and you scare them out of it.
That's kind of what I was just like. I was like, I'm just gonna act like I'm not scared, because like I don't know, I feel like as much as I've flown I shouldn't be scared. So I was going with somebody and I was like, I'm just gonna act not scared the whole time, and I didn't, and like I started doing that more and more. And then finally it became like, oh, I actually could care less. Yeah.
So I just need to fool myself into not being scared.
Yeah, put on some really hype music.
I often do that. I'm like, I'll play something where I'm like, I can't die listening to this song.
Well, that's exactly, so I put on some like really hard rap music. Yeah. And so I'm just like sitting here like really that moment where I am him.
This is not how it's going to go down.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't play Oops, I Did It Again, dying. Wait.
No, wait. We're so bad.
Wait.
All right. Can only hunt one animal for the rest of your life. I'm duck hunting for the rest of my life.
There we go. Was that the last one?
No, there's one more.
Okay.
Take it. Oh no. Who is your arch nemesis? Oh no. I could out a lot of people here.
You don't have to say their name. Or you can just go a different route? So there
I'm trying to say how to say this without outing everybody, or is there a better answer? Yeah. Let's just go.
You know who you are.
Oh, yeah. He probably knows who he is. But nah, let's go. My arch nemesis is probably a duck that I should probably shoot that's in my face and I'm going to miss.
I like
Like you see him coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
And you have no reason to miss this duck, and I'm going to miss it.
But we know who you are.
Hey, I didn't out nobody.
You know why.
You know who you are.
All right, so we're going to do guess the score of these racks.
We're going to start with elk.
Oh, no, I don't
Okay.
even know how to score an elk.
Off the wall, and then we'll work the whitetail.
I'm going to let you go first because I don't even
Is
know
there
how.
two angles of this elk? Or
This
just one?
is the only photo I have. It is surprisingly very hard to find photos of animals
Yeah.
with scores attached to them that aren't terrible.
I don't even know how to score an elk.
A lot of these are from record
3,
books.
4, 5, 6. Okay, so,
so-
I'm going to go
So a big thing to note here
the paddle.
is how
Yeah, much mass.
There's a lot of mass there.
So I'm going to say
it may help.
450.
Let's go 418.
He is, wow, let me double check myself. 442 and 5/8. So, Mary, you nailed that one. All right, mule deer again, little tricky. Record books. It's an older deer.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of little kickers.
I'm going to say 236.
I was gonna say 2. Let's go 248.
.203 and 3/8.
Ooh, what was
We
that?
suck.
I think the shadows there make that one a little tricky. There might be some.
I'm also terrible at picture judging a deer.
I am not good at scoring mule deer because I haven't hunted mule deer yet, so I'm not that great at it. Oh, okay.
Okay, this is. There's a lot of mass.
I have a second photo of this.
Okay, yeah.
So whenever you guys want to see the
Yeah.
second photo, let me know.
Let's see the second. Oh,
Yeah.
Holly.
Yes, please. Okay.
all right. I'm gonna go 184 and 3/8.
I'm gonna go 200.
.211 and 4/8.
I'm terrible at scoring deer.
It's
I
hard
gotta
to
pull a
on a
tape.
photo. That's
I've
the
got
thing.
I've got to pull a tape.
It's very hard to score on a photo.
I just have to go. Hey, it's a 180s class.
Yeah.
Right. It's a 160s class.
I know I haven't shot a deer that big.
I have not.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
thank
It's been
you
a
guys for
pleasure.
having me.
Yeah, we're excited
Yeah.
to see all your hunts this season. When you get the YouTube up, make sure you share it with
That's
us.
gonna be so fun.
Yeah, and good luck on the tour as well and finishing off the rest of the year.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
That's
you guys
awesome.
so much for having me.
You're welcome.